Welcome to the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center's new series, Art Appreciation, where each class we're going to look at an individual artist or a group of artists. We'll look at their work, we'll look at their lives, and we'll come to understand them a little bit better and their importance in our history. So for this session, we will only be looking at women artists, because throughout history, women artists have not been given their fair due. It's just one of those things. So, but for us, we are going to be taking care of that. Our first artist that we're going to be, our only artist that we're looking at today, her name is Louise Nevelson. This is a picture of Louise Nevelson. Now, you may think she looks a little dramatic. Well, in fact, every photograph of Louise Nevelson is dramatic. Her mother used to dress up in very elaborate costumes and wear very heavy makeup. She often thought that her mother's art form was her dressing up. So I think she's influenced by that. Now our friend Louise Nevelson, she is most known for her monolithic, monochromatic wall sculptures. This is a wall sculpture. It's all up against the wall. It's like, they call it a relief sculpture. What she's done is she's taken a bunch of everyday objects and she's put them in little boxes and compartmentalized them. But when she spray paints them all one color, that changes the meaning of the objects. They're no longer what they were intended for. They start to become shape. And that's what she was more interested in, is the shape. Now she did all black ones like this until 1959, and then she started getting crazy, and she started going into white, and for her, the white represent mourning and promises, where the black, she felt, was a very aristocratic color, and was a combination of all color. And then when she was done doing the white for a while, she went over and she started doing some gold ones. Now, Louise Nevelson was born in Russia to a very affluent family, but they were forced to immigrate to this country, and she remembers being told that the streets of America were paved with gold. So that was part of the reason why she went with gold. She calls it her Baroque period. Now, after that, she started moving into freestanding sculptures. Now, you see this one, it's mounted not against the wall. You could actually walk all the way around these. But if you'll see, there's a steering wheel of a car. She's still going through and she's finding stuff in the alleys and on the streets. She calls herself the original recycler. And if we look at this sculpture here, you can see that it's still all painted black. So she's still trying to remove the original purpose of the objects that she's found. And here's another one, where she's just going through the alleys and she's finding stuff, she's putting them together, and she spray paints everyone. This right here is another one of her sculptures. I think it's important that when you look at these aren't tiny. These are probably as big as a big person, probably like 6, 7 feet high. And scale matters. If you looked at something really tiny, it's not going to affect you the same way as if you stand and it's towering over you. Those are different reactions to an artwork. Here, I wanted to include a little detail of some of what her boxes have in them. Sometimes it's just pieces of wood, they're doorknobs, they're little pieces of furniture, forks, anything she can find. So when she puts them all in the box like this and spray paints them, they just become shape. Now let's take a look at one that she calls, this is her chapel. I'm going to show you a picture in a minute of some brides, but this was a chapel and a wedding. Everything's white, and all of the things that are pictured here represent different aspects to her of marriage and the ceremony. She was married to a wealthy man for a short period of time, but he wanted to control her too much, and so she divorced him, which was not that common back in the day. Let me show you some of the brides. Here we have a collection of her brides. So you can see these are freestanding, but they still have that collage thing going on where she's collecting all these objects and she's building these long towers out of them. Now, Louise Nevelson is a great project for kids. I wanted to include a project that kids had done. So if you like Louise Nevelson and you want to do a project by her, all you got to do is go around your house and find things like little spools and plastic forks and maybe some of your toys and little bits and pieces and put them on a piece of cardboard or a piece of really thick paper and spray paint them. Well, you not spray paint it, but you can use your brush and paint it all one color. So this would be a way that you could make yourself your own Louise Nevelson. So Louise Nevelson was a marvelous artist who really made work that was unique, and she made it out of found objects. So I think it's really important that we get to study these women artists and look at the contributions that they made. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of Louise Nevelson's artwork today. I know I did. Please join us again when we highlight another women artist. Thank you.